Hi everybody, this is Krista with the Big Family Homestead and I'm back. I'm making some emergency preparedness meals from scratch. Everything from scratch. So here we go. Okay folks, this is a 3-part video, okay? So there are 3 parts to this video. This recipe is going to be chicken broccoli Alfredo. Yum. My absolute favorite. Well, I can't say that. Everything's my favorite. Everything's my favorite. No, not really. I really like this recipe. So this is a 3-part video. We're going to be making a veggie bouillon powder mix. We're going to be making an Alfredo mix that is shelf stable. Then we will also be making the meal in a bag. So it's not a meal in a jar because there's a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot of ingredients. There's several ingredients that would not quite fit into a mason jar. So we're going to put this in a Mylar bag. So it's super easy to store and take with. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and start with the Alfredo mix first. Okay, for our ingredients, we're going to go ahead and use the Thrive Life freeze-dried Parmesan cheese. We'll use 1 cup of that. We'll use 3 tablespoons of arrowroot powder. You can also use cornstarch, but we're choosing arrowroot powder today. You're going to use 1 tablespoon of garlic, half a teaspoon of salt, and then a half a teaspoon of pepper, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, and 1/2 cup of a Thrive Life mozzarella cheese. Okay, I hope you get your pen and paper out because there are, I wouldn't say a lot, but there's several ingredients that go into this recipe. But if you make a big batch of each of these items, then you can mix together a bunch of these meals in a bag, these emergency preparedness meals. So we're going to use store-bought ingredients and we're going to use Thrive Life ingredients because I absolutely love the Thrive Life ingredients because that's all that's in the can. It is just Parmesan cheese. Whatever is in Parmesan cheese, that's what's in that can. Nothing added. Then there also, the chicken is just chicken and probably salt as a preservative. Depends on which can of chicken you get. And then the broccoli is just broccoli. So, and the onions is just onions. So those are the ingredients that we're going to use that are Thrive Life ingredients. And then the rest is stuff you have in your pantry. So here we go. You got your pen, you got your paper. Let's go. So we need 1 cup. First thing we need before the 1 cup of Parmesan is the immersion blender. One of these deals. These are really great. I love these things. If you don't, a food processor will work just fine. So to this, we're going to add 1 cup of the Thrive Life Parmesan cheese. This stuff, I love freeze-dried cheese. It is so good. I feel like I'm eating crackers when I eat the freeze-dried cheese. So there is 1 cup of that. To that, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of the mozzarella cheese. This is the freeze-dried mozzarella cheese. I just opened this Parmesan cheese can today. When I'm done here, I'm gonna take that and put it into probably this size jar because we don't use that and I will vacuum, we don't use that as much, and then I will vacuum seal those. So then we need 1/2 cup of the mozzarella cheese. And then we'll just go ahead and put that in there. I'm going to put the top on this, put that off to the side, and the lid back on that. Okay, now to this, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of arrowroot. You can also use cornstarch if you prefer. I do have cornstarch, I do have arrowroot, so I try to use as much. When I have a thickening type of recipe, I use arrowroot much more than I would use cornstarch. And then we need onion, and we need 2, you know what? I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of onion powder. I love the flavor of onion powder and garlic powder. So here's our garlic. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of that. And then 1/2 teaspoon of pepper and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, just like so. Now set those off to the side. And then we're going to take our immersion blender, the immersion blender, and we're going to go ahead and blend this up because we want it to be a finer powder. So hold on one second, it's going to be kind of loud. Let's turn this around. Now for this, I like to pick it up and shake it around to mix the stuff up a lot. It makes it a lot easier. I hope you can hear me say that. All right, let's see. Oh, that looks great. So here we go. We've got this awesome mix here. The cheese is nicely ground. It's not super fine, but it is just good. It's good enough for my liking. I still want a little bit of texture, and that cheese will melt when we mix it with the heavy whipping cream, and it will melt and it'll be just perfect. So we're gonna put this in a jar or in a bag. We're gonna put it in a small Ziploc bag, and we'll put this inside our Mylar bag later on. Because we don't want to mix it completely together because the Alfredo you pour over the top of everything. So next step. Okay, before we move on to the next step, I wanted to show you that how much this made. This makes about 1.5 cups of mix. I made one up earlier so that I could vacuum seal this and put it in my pantry for the next time I want to make Alfredo on the quick. But I wrote on here the ingredients. You're going to heat 1 quart of heavy cream and then mix this whole bag into that heavy cream. And this will make the most delicious chicken Alfredo. Not just chicken Alfredo, just Alfredo sauce. Okay, now for the second part of our recipe, we're making the veggie bouillon powder mix. Those ingredients are nutritional yeast. We need 1 cup. We need 1/2 cup salt, a 1/4 cup of parsley, a 1/4 cup of onion powder, and a 1/4 cup of garlic. We need 4 teaspoons of celery seed. We need 8 bay leaves and 2 teaspoons of pepper. Okay, on to the second step. We're going to make the vegetable bouillon powder soup mix, yada yada yippee skippy. So we're going to start with 1 cup of nutritional yeast. This is very good for you. It's got a lot of B12 vitamins in it. If you are vegetarian, this is a great thing to add. Even if you're not a vegetarian, like our daughter Hope, she adds this to, she puts this on her eggs. She adds it pretty much to everything. So 1 cup of the nutritional yeast. And then we're going to add 1/2 cup of salt. Now this is the low sodium version. If you want more sodium, you go ahead and add 1 cup of salt. I just think that's a lot of salt, so I cut it in half. Now to our smaller ingredients, we're going to use, oh Brutus, please lay down. Brutus is making a lot of noise back there. Brutus, lay down, buddy. 1/4 cup of garlic powder and a 1/4 cup of onion powder. Now, if you want to add some spice or whichever you prefer, go ahead and do that into this mix. We're not super spicy people, so we're not adding any spice. So then a 1/4 cup of parsley. Then we want 4 teaspoons of celery seed, not celery salt, celery seed. So 4 teaspoons of that. 2, 3. I know it's a lot of celery seed, but it's got a lot of flavor. And then we need 2 teaspoons of black pepper. And then we need 8 bay leaves. And I'm going to go ahead and crumble these up in here so that way they blend up really well. So we've got There's 5 there. Just gonna tear them up just a little bit. Here's number 6, 7, 8. I'll put 9 because a couple of them were kind of small. So break those up, and then we're gonna go ahead and use the immersion blender again. And we're just gonna chop that all up. All right, so I know most of it was a powder, you know, small pieces, but I really wanted to mix it well and chop up the bay leaf. There we go. Oh, that looks great. See that? Great consistency. All right, we're gonna put this in a jar, and then we will add a couple of tablespoons to our mix in a minute. Okay, for our last step of our recipe video, we're going to use 2 cups of chicken dices, half a cup of onion slices, 2 cups of broccoli. We're going to use 1 pound of pasta. I haven't decided if I'm going to use that one or an elbow macaroni. I don't actually have any penne pasta with me. You can use whatever pasta you want. I really like these from Aldi. They're really good. Then we're going to use our Alfredo mix that we made and 2 tablespoons of our vegetable bouillon mix. All right, so I am using an extra large Mylar bag. I don't have anything smaller. Actually, I do have something smaller, but it is too small. This is the only size that I have other than the little bitty buns. So we're just going to have to work with this one. And I can actually reuse this. So we're going to go ahead and start with, I'm going to make 2 meals right now. And then tomorrow I'll come back and I will make the other meal because it's already after 5 where kids are waiting to eat. They're all starving. So, but Brad has already made something that's cooking in the oven. So this will be for tomorrow. So to this, I'm going to add 2 cups of chicken slices. I forgot my measuring cup. Be right back. Of course, I'm not sure what I was thinking. I don't generally measure anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and just pour half this container into here. This is about 4 cups of a container. Anyway, this is quart-size container. So I'm going to pour half of it in this one and the other half into this one. Then the can is done. So then we're going to need a half a cup of onions, and I'll just give it a nice big handful. We like onions, so I'm going to use a little bit extra. A little in here. Oh, if I don't spill, hold on. There we go. A little bit extra. And then we need our broccoli, which I love. Look at this broccoli. Looks so good. A couple big handfuls of that. This broccoli tastes great right out of the can. Alrighty. And then our noodles. Now for this one, I'm going to go ahead and put the elbow macaroni in here, and then we'll seal this one up actually after I put in the other stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and pour the noodles in here. Just like that. And we're going to need 2 tablespoons of our vegetable bouillon. Oh, that smells so good. Hope actually came during when I had stopped making it. And she said, "Can I taste it?" I said, "Yeah." She thought, "Oh, this is so good. A little salty." I said, "Well, yeah, it's supposed to be mixed in with other things." But yeah, it's a touch salty. So now this is going to stay in its bag. I'll get as much air out of this and then stick it in here. And I will put in, this is the oxygen absorber I took out of the chicken, but I will put an oxygen absorber in this, and I will seal this and mark on there what needs to be done to it. And then for this one, I forgot to add the the vegetable bouillon. Don't want to forget that. This stuff smells so good. Put that in there. And then we will go ahead and cook this one up tomorrow. And then you can see all of it together and you'll see how easy it is and how delicious it is. All right, folks, we're back. I know that was only about a second, but we're back. It's the next day. I'm going to go ahead and make this dish for you so you can see how easy it is and how delicious it turns out. So we've got our 4 cups of cream, our 1 quart of cream. We're going to go ahead and heat it in a small pot here. And then we're going to get that going. And then we will also then get this going. I've got a tablespoon or so of butter. I just kind of grab some and throw it in the pot. Let me turn this back burner on. I don't want to turn it on too hot, so I'm going to turn it up and let it come up to heat slowly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this burner on here, and I'm going to turn it on low, all the way down to low there. And then like I said, I've got a little bit of butter in here, and I'm going to put the 6 cups of water in here and our noodles and broccoli and chicken and our bouillon, and we'll put that in here and get that boiling. So we'll go ahead and do that. Here's our water. And the butter is basically just to add a little bit of flavor. So yeah, who needs a spoon when you've got your fingers, right? My hands are clean. I washed them. So I'm actually going to let this come up to temperature before I put this in there. So we're going to get this to boiling, and then we'll go ahead and add our noodles, broccoli, and chicken. And we'll let our cream come up to temperature here real quick, and we'll be back. All right, this is starting to come to a boil. This milk, yep, it's toasty. It's a little warm. So we've got our Alfredo mix that we're going to go ahead and pour into the cream there, and then give it a good stir. And so we'll see how delicious this looks in here in just a few minutes. I'm going to turn this temperature down all the way to low. Ooh. We're going to keep kind of stirring that here, just to, not constantly, but periodically. We don't want it to stick to the bottom. So we've got our noodles, broccoli, and cheese, and our vegetable bouillon. I'm going to go ahead and pour into here. Oh, so gingerly, as to not lose any of the delicious bits that are in there. So wash that out, save that for later. Give this a good stir. Now this is going to cook as long as it takes for the noodles to cook. So about 7 to 10 minutes. Oh, this looks so good. Give that a good stir. Let that bouillon dissolve in there. And it's that veggie bouillon that we made. And let all of these veggies rehydrate, veggies and chicken. Put that down underneath the water. I'm gonna put a top on that and let that simmer. Like I said, I've got this on low, but it's the big burner that's low. So we're gonna put a top on that and let that cook, let that simmer for, like I said, 7 to 10 minutes. Look at that. Oh, this stuff, it's already thick. That was pretty fast. Holy smokes, that's done, guys. Look at that. Let me get a spoon. Taste that really fast. Look at that. Oh. The cheese still has to melt just a little bit, but that looks so good. Let's give that a taste. Oh yeah, folks, this is going to be the way I make Alfredo from now on. This is delicious. I generally make Alfredo from scratch. That is so good. Like I said, this cheese still needs to melt. I generally make Alfredo from scratch. And there's a stick of butter and, lots of cream, which I don't mind about the cream because we have our own cow. And actually, I didn't have much cream, so I just used basically half and half. So half milk, half cream. Look at how thick that is, guys. That looks great. I will not be using the traditional way of making Alfredo anymore. This is delicious. Look at that. You can see the cheese strings in there. I hope you guys can see that. Here, let me bring it over here. You can kind of see the stringy cheese in there. Folks, this is my go-to now. I'm not making Alfredo from scratch with so much butter. This had zero butter in it, zero fat other than the milk. Oh, and the cheese, of course. All right, I'm going to turn that off because I don't want that to burn. That is perfect. Wow, I'm so impressed with that. And it tastes delicious. Look at how thick that is. Look at that. Stick into the spoon like that. Oh. Yum. That is so good. All right. We're done. Sorry. Still have Alfredo in my mouth. All right, we're going to let this simmer. This is done. I turned it off. That actually could have waited until this was done. I didn't realize that it was going to take that little time to make that Alfredo. It was pretty instant. So we're going to wait about 7 to 10 minutes for this, and then we'll be back. All right, so I turned off the cream or the Alfredo mix here. It is just so cheesy and delicious looking. Oh my gosh, look at this. So delicious. Okay, this is just about done. I took the top off. I want this moisture to come out of there. There's a little bit left. And then we will go ahead and plate this up and pour some of the Alfredo on. I actually could just go ahead and pour Alfredo straight into this. I don't want to do that. Because it's not quite dinner time yet, so I'm not going to do that. I will put a little bit of the sauce on, a little bit of the pasta and chicken and broccoli so that you can see what it looks like. This has been just a joy to make this recipe. I love these. I love these ingredients. I love that. Okay, here's the thing. Oh, I can't say that. I was going to say, you know what I was going to say? I was going to say this is gluten-free. No, it's not gluten-free, folks. I completely forgot. There was noodles in it. See this? There's noodles in it. It's pretty darn close. It's pretty darn close. You could actually replace the noodles with something else, another vegetable, and this could be gluten-free. You could even actually use a rice noodle. So I'm going to get a bowl, and we're going to plate some of this up and see how it tastes, because I already know it's going to be delicious. But I want you to see how delicious it is. All right. I'm trying to get a bunch of everything. Some broccoli, some chicken, some noodles. I know there's onions in there. They're just hiding. Look at that. Some broccoli. I love broccoli. And then, oh, I need another spoon. I'll use this one. Give this another stir real quick. And then we'll go ahead and put some of this Alfredo on there. Oh, look how nice and thick that is. There's no butter in this. There is only cream and the cheese, arrowroot, and then seasoning. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That looks just amazing. Grab a fork. Look at that. Well, I probably put a little bit too much Alfredo. What a shame. I'll have something to dip my bread into. All right. So we've got some broccoli. I need a piece of chicken. That's going to be really, really toasty. Look at that. Here, I'm going to go ahead and give Brad his thumbnail right here. All right. That looks really good. I love Alfredo. And so, okay, if you guys have been to the Olive Garden, I love to get their breadsticks and their salad and a bowl of soup and then Alfredo to dip my breadsticks in. But this, I got to tell you, I think it's going to be a little bit better. That is so good. I kid you not, guys. This is so delicious. And I don't feel guilty about eating this Alfredo because, like I said earlier, Alfredo, when I make it from scratch, you use a whole stick of butter. I don't feel guilty about this because I know where the milk came from. That came from our cow. The cheese, I'm glitching, guys. This is so good. You're gonna have to try this. I'm so impressed with this. I love this dish. Anything with Alfredo on it. Yeah, the fam is gonna be just, they're gonna be flipping over this. This is so good. This is a win. Such a win, guys. Easy. Sorry. Good for you. If you wanted to go gluten-free, you could use a different kind of pasta or something else, or just eliminate the pasta altogether, but use less water if you're going to do that. But that Alfredo, I swear, is guilt-free Alfredo because it doesn't have that butter in it. And I know I keep repeating it, but I'm just in awe about how delicious this is. So I hope you try this. Also, if you don't mind, I would greatly appreciate you checking out the website, our Thrive Life website. Check out the ingredients, see if it's something that's going to work for your family. Just to either have on the shelf for preparedness, make up a few of these meals. Again, for preparedness, put them in Mylar bags. It's a super, you saw how fast it went. All in all, this was done in 15 minutes from start to finish. 15 minutes because it was already prepared. It was already, together. I had the Alfredo mix. All I had to do was heat the milk, heat the water, and then cook it. That's how fast it was. It was super easy. So please, guys, go ahead, check out our website. Check out the Thrive Life website. There's a link in the description box. They have a lot of great sales going on this month. Honestly, if you do, it truly helps our family out. I would greatly appreciate it. And also, if you're looking at getting into a side business, this is one to do it with, because if you get a consultant kit, 95% of what is in your kit is food. You get pantry cans of chicken, pineapple, and strawberries, and then you get, I think, 5 of the snack bags. Everything in there is single ingredients. It's absolutely delicious. I really hope that you check it out for you or your family. Well, for you and your family. So, and the dogs are barking because Ruth is coming in the door. She just got back from piano. So, shh, just a minute. She didn't know I was filming. I was doing this. So that's okay, Ruth. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making this video for you guys. I hope you check it. I hope that you will share and like. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do so. It truly helps our family out. I'm Christa with the Big Family Homestead, and I hope you have a very blessed and amazing day.